and we were talking about crypto, talking about or not talking about NFTs. I'm sorry, you say NFT people. We're talking about crypto, talking about entrepreneurial stuff, online businesses, the whole shebang, living abroad, travel, things like that. So if you're watching this live, if you're watching this not live, hit the like button for us, subscribe. We have his stuff down below. If anything he says interests you, definitely hit him up. And yeah, bro, you ready for this?
Let's get it. I'm ready.
Fire. Dude, hold on. There we go. First off, bro, thanks for coming on. And dude, honestly, I kind of want to talk about travel. I heard you live in Greece. I heard you live on an island off of Greece or something like that. What is that like?
Yeah, actually, I come from Cyprus, which is a Greek island, but now I moved in Thailand. For the last 3 months, I'm in Bangkok. We move in the whole Asia, but our base is Bangkok, Thailand.
That's awesome, bro. So how many Greek islands are there? Because until I met you, I honestly didn't even know. So yeah, how many Greek islands are there?
To be honest, I have no idea. Like, there's so many of them, you know?
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and so many small of them. Like, I'm a digital nomad also, and with my girlfriend, we lived in Crete for 6 months. We lived also in Paros. There are so many small ones, like villages. You can think of it, but on an island.
True.
So
true. Dude, tell me about your like. So we're gonna run through like a little bit of a timeline of the things that you've been doing online, entrepreneurial things like that. Definitely would love to kind of hear how that first year went. That's like probably my most interested thing that I talk to pretty much anyone who's online, especially just because there's a ton of, I don't know if misinformation is the right word, but
maybe that's a good word.
Yeah, that or like misrepresentation of like what that first year / first 2 years is like as an entrepreneur, kind of navigating the online sphere. So talk to us about that first year and kind of what that led to.
Yeah, basically, I totally agree. There is so much misinformation, and even if there is not misinformation, I guess so many people will compare, and this is what I also was doing in my first 2-3 years. Because for me, my first 2 years, I didn't have any of success. So if you would meet me back then, you would think that I wasn't doing anything about business or something. And you know, if you see other successful people, they tell you, "Oh, I hit the first 10K in the first month, or first 100K in the first year." So that wasn't my case. You know, I hit my first $500 in the first 2 years, a month in the first 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how long it took me to quit from my part-time job as a waiter and barman. And I was still working in the university. But then when I make it like stable income, you know, it wasn't just like a quick and then it wasn't generating after that. I was like, okay, I'm generating $500 in 2-3 hours of my day. Why do I focus full time on that? And that was when I was finishing my university degree. I actually was 2 months in a job. I quitted the job and I focused on my business entirely. And from there, it took me 1.5 years to make it like a decent full-time income. So 3.5 years to actually have full-time income out of the business.
Okay, awesome. So you did finish school or you didn't finish school?
I did. I finished computer science in University of Cyprus.
Nice.
But yeah, it wasn't something I liked. Basically, my parents, when I was in high school, they told me, half of my family, they are doctors. And they told me, look, if you want, my passion was always to travel, have a comfortable life. So my parents told me, if you want to have a comfortable life, if you want to travel, you either become a doctor or a computer scientist, because it's the future, which it doesn't make sense, because if you're a doctor, you don't make vacations. And if you like computer science, you invest 60 hours a week in an office. But I'm afraid actually of hospitals. So I was like, I cannot be a doctor, so I choose the second option. But
let me ask you this. What was the best part? Obviously, you said you didn't like school. What was the best part about school? And what did you hate most about it? What did you like best? Like, you had to have some kind of benefit, whether it might have been networking with people or something. What was it that you did like about it? And what was it that you just really, really didn't like about school?
what I did like, what I love about school, it taught me how to study. For example, with our academy, I mean, and with trading, the way that I'm studying now, I learned it from university. So how to be organized, how to schedule my calendar, which basically it's not that university taught me that, but I don't even remember. I learned it myself for university, and then I just applied it to my business. So how to study, how to take notes, how to after read my notes, how to put my calendar. Now that's what I liked about university. And actually one of our educators in university told us that he was the only educator that was honest about bachelor degrees. He said, in university, you don't learn anything. You just learn how to learn. And it hit me, because I don't remember anything about from university.
I actually don't either. I
just
barely
remember the process of learning, the topic. Now, what I didn't like about university, basically what I mentioned, like 99% of the things we learn are useless. Even for computer science, which you are a programmer, I studied 5 years, tens of hours a week. And, like 10% of that was coding, actual coding. So, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I took computer science for a year, maybe a year and a half. And I basically got like 1 point above failure in all of, I think I actually may have failed one of them, but I think we coded for maybe about 5 to 10% of the class. The rest of it was just like proofs. I don't even know what it was the rest of the time, but I pretty much gave up after a year. So I was like, this sucks. B, I'm not learning anything. C, I don't even like it. I would agree with you there. Actually.
What did you do? So what was your life like growing up, bro? Was there any major events that shaped the way that you think now? While you were growing up before school? Tell us about that a little bit.
So you mean before business?
Before business, before university, before all of that. I'm just curious what your life was like and what major events impacted the way that you think.
Well, to be honest, I was like a normal average person. My family, I come from a refugees family. My parents are refugees from the Cyprus War that was in 1974. And I come from a big family. We are 7 brothers and sisters.
Oh, wow.
And and one of the best things that I've experienced when I was like a kid is I was always in a group. And I guess that's what helped me with my business also later on. So I was always in a group. My house, my family house, my parents' house was always like alive, kids running around. I was one of them. So I am grateful because I have both of my parents. I never lacked anything. It's not that we had money, but what I respect the most out of my parents, they didn't make a lot of money, but 7 brothers and sisters, we never lacked anything, which I don't even know how they made it.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of kids.
Actually, no, they made a lot of debt and, loans. But, like growing up, I was a normal kid in a normal family, full of love, brothers and sisters, both my parents. Yeah.
Where out of the 7 brothers and sisters, where do you fall in that? Were you in the beginning, end, in the middle? Which one are you?
The second oldest.
So the youngest then?
No, the oldest. So basically,
you're the oldest of 7.
Yeah, so basically, my oldest one is Stavros. He's 29. Wait, I think I am 28. So he's
second oldest is what he said.
Yes,
second oldest.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say. Okay, cool. What do your siblings? What do they do? Are they entrepreneurial? Are they all going to school? What do they think about what you got going on? Tell us about that.
So my oldest brother, he is a doctor. He is right now in the phase of, I don't know how you call it, like a master's in other degrees. He's making his expertise, I think you call it in English. Then it's me, my third sister. She's right now in her master for biology. Basically, all of my family, like their direction is more of school, which is great. And then, like my rest of my brothers and sisters, they are like young. Then it's Yorgos, which he's studying nutrition. Then my other brother, Michalis, he's in the army. And then did I forget anybody? Oh my God. Yeah, that's the issue when you have a lot. No, I didn't. And then the youngest one, which he's in high school right now.
True. Nice. Yeah. Well, so talk to me. Kind of got into your past a little bit. Tell me about your day-to-day today currently. Like, what's the majority of your time you taking up? What do you tell someone if they ask you like what you do? What's your job? Like, what are you up to right now? Like, what do you tell them usually?
So my main occupation, my main business is that we are expanding the largest financial literacy academy globally. This is what I focus most of my time on, which we teach people how to generate income online. What I like to call it the digital elite skill sets, the skill sets that before this, actually literally before what we've done, people had to either pay tens of thousands of dollars to learn this, or they had to know a millionaire, billionaire to learn these skill sets. Right now, we made it accessible, I think you call it in English, to the masses. And this is what I focus on. And of course, I'm personally trading myself, Forex and cryptocurrencies. So these are the two main occupations that I'm investing 70% of my time.
So did you find out about Forex first and then crypto, or at the same time?
I found out first about crypto, and this is something that this is actually fun because I'm sure it will start happening now also because the bull market is about to happen. When I learned about crypto, it was on 2017 when Bitcoin was on 20,000. That's what I learned first. And I actually learned one of these companies that they claimed back then, put money here, we do Bitcoin mining, you made X amount of money every week. And I was like, oh my God, I will stop my university, do nothing and get paid. Eventually scam. I actually even referred to them, like 20 something people. So my reputation was destroyed.
Damn.
Like half of my class in university hated me after that, And I didn't know better, because I wasn't educated. So after that, I was so negative about crypto. And then I learned Forex. And that's how I made my first, 500 euros a month with Forex. And actually, after 2 years, I got back to crypto again in 2020.
True.
So what do you like better? If you only could have one, bro, only Forex or only crypto, which one would you choose to have? If you could only have one?
Crypto.
Yeah.
I mean, especially now with ETF, crypto. The only reason I'm doing Forex basically is for prop firms and other people's money because there are more opportunities out there to trade with other people's money. But now with Bitcoin ETF, because in crypto, that's what I'm trading. I'm like, when it comes out, I may go probably I will go only crypto after that.
True. So, dude, tell me about your experience trading. I mean, that's the thing that most people want to talk about because there's only so much you can talk about when with like affiliate marketing and things like that and sales because it's about the same game for the most part. It's just sales, you're talking to people, connecting with people and stuff like that. But trading, bro, trading's actually pretty difficult. Most people can't do it. Most people fail just in general or just don't have interest in it or whatever the case may be. So you get in, you get introduced to the business, you start trading. Talk to us about that first few trades. Like, what is that like? What is it like for most people who join? Like, what's the experience like the first 6 months? Just talk to us about the trading.
So I still remember my first trade that I took. It was Jimmy PCHF buy. And that when I made
the exact trade.
I still remember it. And I even back then in our academy, we didn't have, like hours in our day. So I had to waking up at 4 a.m. because it was based on the US hours. And I still remember it like my best friend, he was also teaching in our academy for a couple of years. He came into my room, 4 a.m. We sit down. We saw one of our educators. He gave that trade. We entered it. By 5 a.m., it was profit, and I made my first four euros. And
€4.
yeah, and it was like, oh my God, this is it. I'm gonna make it.
That's hilarious.
And you know, with that, I made even a couple other trades after that. I made like 20 euros. I've withdrawn it. With that money, I still remember my first gift to myself. It was like, we call it souvlaki in Greece and Cyprus. It's a traditional food, which is bread. We call it pita with meat. I still remember it, you know. That was my first thing that I bought with trading profits. But after that, emotions got in. I thought, I made it. I am gonna make money. After that, that souvlaki was the only thing I bought for myself with trading profits for 2 years after that.
Whoa.
Yeah, because when what people don't understand is it's not just learning a strategy, but learning yourself, your emotions, and actually know how to manage it and remove distractions. People say control your emotions. What I'm thinking, what I'm doing with myself, removing distractions so I don't put myself into temptation. For example, if I take one stop loss, I stop for the day. I don't care if I lose opportunities because I see myself getting greedy. And that's what got me, after 2 years, losing, blowing accounts. I don't even know why I kept going, Actually, I know why. Because when I started on this, nobody except my girlfriend believed in this. My parents, and this is funny, when I did my launch in my business in Cyprus, my parents were my guests in the room and they called the actual police while I was speaking.
What?
They called the police because they thought that it was a scam. In the room. They didn't even get out. In the room.
Bro, what are you talking
Did the
about?
police actually come?
Yeah.
What?
And
Wait, hold on.
And
Wait, so you had like a lunch or something in this room, and your parents were there, and then they called the police on you?
Yeah, not on me. They they wouldn't say, "Oh, our kid, he's doing something illegal." They were saying to the police, "Our son, how do you say in English? He got
scammed.
yeah, he's naive, he doesn't know, and they
Oh
got
my
him into that
gosh.
scam thing." And 69 other people, 68, because 2 of them were my parents, were around them listening the conversation with the police. And anyway, long story short, the police did nothing. They told them, if it's not something important, please, we have to close the call. And actually, that's the reason I kept going after 2 years, because I don't. If you're in business, I was the jumper from jumping from one business to another, because trading wasn't my first run, and the emotion of stopping the business and having your parents and brothers and sisters saying to you, "I told you so." I didn't want to go through it for the 3rd time, so I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna make this work. And that's why I kept going after 2 years, because I didn't want to quit trading again and go on Christmas dinners and have my cousins and aunts saying, "Oh, you do this thing still." That's the only reason actually I kept going.
Bro, I cannot believe your parents called the police on you.
That's
That
actually
is
pretty funny.
That has got to be the craziest story I've probably ever heard from an entrepreneur right there. Like, bro, what do they say now? What, like, do you talk to them about it, or are you like, listen, bro, yo, that's the line. I'm never telling you guys anything again.
Look,
I can't believe that, bro. That's unbelievable. There's no way, dude. I would pay to have footage of that night. That is so funny.
I mean, look, the 5 years later, they still don't understand me. I did one huge commitment with my family. We have a convention in February, and I told them from now, look, I hit chairman, and you have to come to my recognition. and I'm gonna pay everything for them. I committed from now. They put, vacations from their jobs and everything. And true story, 1 month ago when I told it to my parents, I'm right now in Bangkok, living from this full time. I moved from Cyprus in Thailand, and they were like, "Oh, Kiriako, do you make money from this?" No, and it's gonna be, I don't believe about that. They still weren't believing it, even 5 years later. And I was like, how did I manage to, fly from Cyprus to Thailand? If this didn't work? Like, how do I manage to live here? But anyway, even still, they don't understand it. They don't believe in it. But, I had a lot of serious conversations with them. Like, before that, there were fights in the house, do not understand you. I wasn't even so mature to actually show them my vision, share my passion. It was just fighting verbally. But now, I think the business also helped me mature myself. And this is the most important, because now they don't understand what I'm doing. They don't see the vision, but they understand that it's important to me and they respect it, which that's all I need. I don't need their support. I have my mentors, I have everything as a support, but thank God now they respect it.
Dang, dude. That's some crazy stuff right there, bro. I mean, I feel you with the parents not understanding. My parents didn't understand until I showed them I had to show them the first time I got paid. They were like, "So you're getting paid by who?" And I'm like, "Some guy in Germany." And they were like, "What?" And I was like, "I swear." And they're like, "Show me." And I had to show them my trust wallet, my crypto wallet. And I was like, "I'm being paid to make videos, and this is like a paycheck basically." And they were like, "What is Ethereum?" I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Never mind, bro." I was like, it's just I can sell it for money." I was like, "That's all that matters." And they're like, "Okay, fine, whatever." No, I feel you there, 100%. I feel you there, 100%.
Yeah.
Talk to us about crypto. I know you said that you see the bull market coming. What is it that you see coming up these next 12, 24 months? What are you thinking is about to happen?
Dude, I don't know if you saw, Twitter's got euphoric for 72 hours, and then everyone's like, just kidding. But everyone got super hyped. They're like, "Bro, the bull market's back," and then everyone's like, "Okay, well, it is, but we're just gonna come back down, but it's gonna come back up, but it's gonna go back down first," and then everyone was like, and then went back to kind of flatlined again.
What does KYRIAKOS think?
I mean, for me, I also believe we will keep going a little bit up from where we are and then drop. But okay, getting in now, it's too late in crypto. But there will be an opportunity, I believe, in the next few months again. Not now, in the next few months. Now, I got serious with crypto in the last 2 years. So, I'm not an expert. I'm making money out of this. But, the people I'm learning from, they are the experts. But the way that I see, one of the few things I learned from my bachelor degree is the technology behind crypto. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. Maybe I kind of combining my bachelor. I'm not coding or something. I hate it. But, I can understand the philosophy behind it. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. Now, what I see about crypto, they will never leave. That's for sure. Now, if it's going to be Bitcoin, if it's going to be Ethereum, Solana, nobody knows. And actually, one of my mentors, he always says, and it stuck to me because I didn't lose money because I didn't follow that advice, but I didn't make money in 2019 and 2020. He said, don't be loyal to crypto because crypto are not loyal. And I made, really good amounts back then. And I didn't withdraw. I was to the moon, holding, which want to become a millionaire. I didn't do dollar cost average out. And I saw my profits going back to break even and in a drawdown. I'm still holding the same crypto from 2020, because I didn't do that. So we don't know which project will be here in 5-10 years. We can assume, but the technology will be here. And that's for sure. So yeah, I really believe 100% on crypto. And now is the opportunity because crypto won't be paying. I was actually posting before we do the live about some of the results we've done in our academy, 100% profit in 1 year. There is no other market out there that can give you this, and we are in a bear market still.
Yeah.
So, and the reason I'm so passionate about crypto is because I know I can build my wealth faster compared to other markets. And the time is now, because in 5 years, crypto, I believe, won't be paying, like 100, 200%. It's going to become so more stable, like a stock market. Now it's not so many people inside. That's why you can make more return on your investment. So the timing is now, I believe. Not right now. Now it's not. It's too late now. But I mean, in these years.
Sure. You want to talk to me about the vision of of your business, why you're fighting for it, what's the goal? Like, do you have specific numbers? Are you trying to, like, what's the reasoning behind everything? Like, not everyone chooses to go the entrepreneurial route. It's not as glamorous as people think it is, and most people who find out within like 3 months, like the differences in reality there. So what's the goal?
So the goal is, first of all, the goal for the next 12 months is to help 15,000 families build an additional income online. It may be, social media, crypto, stocks, Forex, whatever is what marketing, whatever they choose to build income from. Now, this is the goal for the next 12 months. Why I'm still doing it? Because, many people tell me, why you're literally in Thailand. Why don't you just trade and, leave the business? I was in the point back in when it was the lockdowns, 2022, it was like my greatest year in trading. And, I was getting the withdrawals, but I thought I was happy. Of course, money brings happiness. Whomever says the opposite, he's a liar.
That's funny.
But I was feeling, it's like you get a present, but it's empty inside. I don't know if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
That was the emotion I had. Like, and I thought I can feel that present with making more money. And actually, that's what I lost everything in trading, which is funny. But anyway, actually, it wasn't funny then, but, thinking back. But, I felt like I can be fulfilled when I make more money. And that's when I separated fulfillment with happiness. Like, and actually this metaphor is also great. I don't know if it's a metaphor, but with the present, and it's empty and it's filled. Like, when I was making money, and when I'm making money, it's like I'm getting a present. I'm feeling happy. I can do things. We can go to Vietnam with my girlfriend. I can take her out for a dinner. I just started another business with one of my mentors in the last few months. I couldn't do that if it wasn't about money. So money brings that. But if you focus only on money, the present is empty. And that's when fulfillment came in. And this, I mean, I'm working all day long. Yes, I'm going to watch my Netflix. Yes, I'm going to go out with my girlfriend. Yes, we have also our travel vlog because we're digital nomads. We will go for 3 days in Vietnam and do just vlogging. Yes, we do that. And, I'm not going to do nothing. And the reason being is because I'm so passionate on, it's like I'm addicted on the emotion of somebody sending me a screenshot. Look, I became funded. Thank you. Or I made that amount of money. Thank you. Oh, Solana is at $50. Thank you. I doubled my money.
Solana.
Yeah. So, like, that's why I'm doing it, for fulfillment.
No, I agree. There's been many different times in many different ways where I've made money by myself, and that felt great for the moment. And you feel like everyone thinks that once they hit a certain level, that'll create happiness, fulfillment, whatever. But no feeling would replace the feeling of helping your friends, helping your family, seeing the people around you level up, whether that be financially, whether that be in all areas. So I definitely feel you on that. I always talk about how a huge part of fulfillment comes from the impact that you make in a positive way around people. So no matter what I do, no matter what you do, like, it has to be built around that. So I feel you on that. Go ahead.
Like, I totally agree with you. Like, for another example, my girlfriend, she's a beast on e-commerce, specifically on Etsy, and she learned that from our business, Etsy marketplace, etc. I didn't, I don't know about Etsy. It's not that she's there because of me. She's there because of her and her hard work. But seeing her now, she's in 1% top Etsy sellers right now globally.
Wow.
Seeing her be there, I am like, that's why. Again, she's not there because of me, but she got introduced to it because of one of our educational seminars. And even my best friend, he's a beast. He makes way more money than me on trading. He was teaching in our academy. He learned about Forex through our business. So the emotion is, you cannot compare it when you see them succeed.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
No, the money thing is very, very, very fleeting. Even it's kind of weird. Like even when you like need the money, it still is like impossibly fleeting. Like there have been times where I needed the money and then it came and I was like, wow, this should bring me at least like a few days of peace, but it lasted like 30 minutes. And I was like, bro. And then I've had times where I got like up a lot of money and I was like, I should feel better for longer, and I don't for some reason. Like it only lasted like 20 minutes. How is that even possible?
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like an impossible problem with that, to be honest, because it's like it's built up as something greater than it is, and then you get it. It's like there's a lot of things in life, not just money, that are similar in that nature. Just because there's nothing in this world that's eternal. That's kind of probably why I eventually came to like religion, but because everything else is temporary. Like every little other thing. Everything else dies. Like, no matter what it is, eventually the hype behind it fades, especially if you've done it enough times, you become hyper aware that it's going to fade, and that almost kills it even more, kind of thing,
Because you don't get so hyped up after that.
Yeah, it's not gonna last. You're like, that's kind of how it is right now with like commission videos and stuff like that for me. I'm like, like I already know it's coming. I already know the crash is coming. I'm like, why even bother getting excited?
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah, bro.
Tell us about your digital nomad life, because I know that you're in Thailand, but I want to know all the different places that you've lived and maybe your favorites or maybe least favorites, or if maybe you have some crazy stories about that. I'd love to hear about that a little bit more.
So like my why, so when I started in the business 5 years ago, like my mentors always told me, like, find a why for you and a why for why other people. And we discussed the why for others, which is also a why for me, because helping others, I help myself, I feel fulfilled. So it's kind of selfish if you think about it. You help others for you. So anyway, but for me, I had always 3 whys why I am doing this. Number 1, traveling. I didn't even know, that digital nomad exists, that is a thing. I just wanted to travel. And number 2, help my parents, become debt free. And number 3, have a very, very comfortable life for my future kids. So, but my main one was traveling. And, Tony Robbins says progress equals happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I'm traveling, every time I'm doing something new, I'm feeling like I'm progressing, like I'm growing, and, I feel happy. My passion is traveling. Now, we lived with my girlfriend like 5 months in Crete. It's an amazing island in Greece. We will go there in the summer again for maybe a month. We lived in the Netherlands for a month. And right now we moved in Thailand. So we are like newbies in this digital nomad thing. We started it 6th of January 2023. Exactly.
Nice.
That was the exact date we started. And how it happened, we were living in Limassol. Limassol is like, for me, the best city in Cyprus, which that's where I come from. And we had this big villa living in Limassol. We were amazing. I still miss sometimes that house. I'm sure I'm going to have like a similar house in the future, but it wasn't the best period of our lives. and it was like a bit of a dark moment for us, even though we had, like a big house, everything nice in Limassol. And that's when we decided, let's sell everything and travel, because we were all saying, like, I want to live in Bali, I want to live in Thailand, I want to visit Vietnam. We are always saying it, but it's so uncomfortable doing it. And I have photos on my social media, like having our TV for sale, having my desktop PC for sale. It was such, I don't even know how to express it. And anyway, we sold everything. We moved in Greece. We wanted to do it like step by step. We didn't want to come in Thailand instantly. That would be a shock for us. So we moved in Greece because it's a similar culture with Cyprus, same language. We stayed there for 5 months. Then in the Netherlands, specifically Groningen and Amsterdam, and Rotterdam in a few days. And then we came in Thailand 3 months ago. Now the goal that we came in Thailand, we said with my girlfriend, we will stay here until we visit all the Asian countries that we have in our bucket list. And that's why we've started also our travel blog, which we have it, like it's a business. It's gonna pay us like really well.
Nice.
So like that's the story of digital nomad. Like for me, especially if you don't have kids or anything, being a digital nomad, even for 6 months, you make so much more personal development than reading 100 books. That's what I realized.
No, the different people that you meet, the different cultures, the different languages. How many languages do you speak, bro?
I speak 2. I used to speak 3, but now I speak 2, English and Greek.
What was the third?
The third was French. Actually, I was speaking first French before learning English.
Wow.
And when I learned English, I forgot my French, which is, it wasn't the best. But yeah, it was.
Dang. Cade's still learning English, bro.
That's funny. No, I feel you on the traveling. Yeah, I lived in my car for 6 months and traveled around America and just drove around. And that was literally feels like I lived like 4 lifetimes during that time. That was a crazy wild time. Like I agree. I think I don't know if I would suggest everyone do it, but to be on your own for that long, I think if you can handle it, you should handle it. Like we said on a past podcast, like if you have the ability to, you have the responsibility to. And I think that goes to yourself and for other people too. If you have certain gifts or if you have certain things that you don't have to work through, like some people just cannot do it on their own. Some people need another person, they're too lonely, whatever. But if you don't need that, then in my head, I'm like, bro, as long as you have other things you got to take care of, you almost have like an obligation to go and put yourself in a scenario like that. That's pretty extreme and difficult because of what is possible, like not because of what is possible to gain, but what you will absolutely gain from traveling on your own for 6 months or living in a studio apartment by yourself in a place you never lived before by yourself or things like that. Just because for a fact on the other side of that is a ton of personal growth that pretty much isn't possible unless you do that thing that's pretty scary. Plus, once you do it, it's done, and then you get to talk about it. And that's like half the reason I did it was like, one day I can talk about it on a podcast. That literally was like, I had that like on video where I was like, that's the only reason I'm doing this because I have nothing interesting about my life. So.
Actually, one of my mentors, he posted one time years ago, if you do one thing to grow yourself, change your zip code.
So that's good. That's good.
You may not travel to another country. You may just change city. It's not like you go extreme digital nomad. But traveling is so. Actually, what you said about van life, my girlfriend, she's like, I want some time to do van life in US, and I'm like, I don't know if I can handle it in a van, but it's gonna be again, like you said, if you can do it, you have the responsibility. I don't remember how you mentioned it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did it in a car, so I would have loved to do it in a van or something like that, bro. But if you're doing it 2 people, you probably need you need at least a van or something like that.
Yeah.
But dude, I think it'd be cool. I mean, bro, 6 months, that was longer than almost anyone would need to do it. Like 6 months doesn't sound like that long, but like it was so long that you could have probably gotten 80% of the benefits in 2 months to be completely honest. I think a month or 2 even is like an extremely long time. Like I did a fast for 1 week And that was easily the longest week of my entire life. Like I have never experienced that many things in 7 days in my entire life. Like I thought that week would never end. So like time is like flexible, bro. Like time can be different based on a whole lot of circumstances, you know?
Yeah.
What you got, bro? What you got? I got some things too here. But yo, I was gonna ask about crypto. So I guess it's crypto, yeah. So one topic that came up probably like a year ago is when it was kind of coming up a lot, because that's when I was really, really heavy into doing a lot of podcasts with people in Web3. But they were talking about CBDCs were starting to pop up a lot as far as conversation topics in CBDCs, specifically in the form of universal based income through government based coins, basically. And basically people were like, yo, the government's going to come in, they're going to make their own Bitcoin version, but a government backed one, government controlled, government everything, basically Big Brother style. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on if that's a possibility? Like in my head, I was like, yo, if they offer people $2,000 worth of government coin, all you gotta do is sign off a couple of these things. I was like, bro, that's for sure gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the governments, they are smart. That's why they make the most money, the governments and banks. So CBDCs, there is no doubt that actually I was gonna say that they will happen, but they're already here. So it's not that they will happen; they already happened. The thing now is that the governments, they need campaigns to mainstream it, to make it accessible to everybody. And like one of my mentors, he says, like, do not get surprised in the next 12 months. You will see your bank having their wallet and giving you some crazy percentages so you can give custody of your crypto to them. Mm-hmm. And it also makes sense and money for them. Again, because, for example, if the bank comes and tell you, give us your Bitcoin or your Ethereum and we will give you guaranteed 20% a year, for them, they just print more money. So it's that they give, they just create more and they give you. So they also create inflation. But for most people that are uneducated, they will do it because they think, oh my God, the 120% profit guaranteed. This is the key word people want to hear, guaranteed. Like if somebody is uneducated, if they hear guaranteed, they're like, here's my money. But they don't see that you give custody. Yeah. And this is custody for me is the one thing that I love the most about crypto. Like nobody knows how many ledgers you have. Nobody knows how much money you have in your ledger. Nobody has access to your ledger because a ledger was never hacked. So yeah, like the governments and banks, they already did it. CBDCs, they already created the coins. The thing now is how they are gonna make it accessible and attract all of the population to actually get their coins so they can track them. But they will do it. The question is how.
Yeah, and honestly, with CBDC specifically, because most people don't give a rip about the fact that it's owned by anyone else, because everybody's money is held by someone else for the most part, other than pretty much crypto bros. Like everyone else is like, yeah, whatever. Like 20% sounds good to me. For them, I'm like, bro, it doesn't even matter. Like for them, it doesn't matter if it's a CBDC or their own, cash or whatever it is. And most of them are just going to do it. And for them, honestly, I don't think there's a better option for them because custody requires a certain amount of responsibility that I just don't think most people care about. And honestly, 20%, bro, that's pretty solid returns right there. I would even have to consider that one, to be totally honest, just because it's kind of hard to know. And scary because we're one collapse away from the entirety of that falling apart. When we saw it happen this year with like 5 different banks, like real banks, real people with money. But the government was able to bail themselves out because they can print their own money. So in a weird, gross way, it all kind of works. And for the normal person, it almost doesn't matter. So for me, it's always difficult because I'm like, for people who are in the industry, it's almost more like food for thought. And more just about conversation, because at the end of the day, the government can and will print more money and can and will bail themselves out. So it's hard for me because I hear these conversations because I'm in the game, I'm in the Web3 game, I'm in the content creators and stuff, but they always bail themselves out. So I'm like, bro, like what do we, I'm not sure, dude. I don't know what the answer is for that. Like, what would you say for most people? Should they be paying attention? Does it even matter?
What you said actually is amazing. Most people will accept that just because they don't want to take responsibility. When you said it, it was an aha moment for me, because it's actually so true. Most people, they just don't want to be responsible about their financial situation. And I know that 100% that's the situation of 99% of people, because I was like that even 3 years ago. Because even 3 years ago, I was already in business. I was always blaming somebody else in my business, in my child. It's the educator's fault. It's my mentor's fault. It's the company's fault. It was never KYRIAKOS' fault. And okay, it's always better than later than never. I don't know how you say it, that I took responsibility really of my life. Most people will accept that just because they don't want to take responsibility. But it's like, yeah, maybe a person may come and say, if they give me a lot of money and to give them, custody of my money, I'm gonna do it. I don't care about responsibility. I don't care about freedom. I'm making money. And on the one hand, how do you say, more for the time being is good. They may be making 20% profit, or I don't know how much they will give, but I'm sure they will give something to get custody. But on the other hand, it's like you get paid to imprison you more. This is how I see it. You get paid from the government or the banks to imprison you more, to steal more of your freedom. And it's funny that most of people, they do like fights and they protest that we want our freedom, we want to be free will. But it's the same people that they give their money to the government, that they give their rights to the banks. They do it. It's not the government or the banks. Just like you said, because they don't want to take responsibility. They don't want to know that it's on me, which it is, but they prefer to blame somebody else. So that's the reason why most people, I believe, they will do it.
Yeah, I guess my point mainly was that, like, I don't even know if it's bad that they're doing it, because the government bails themselves out, it almost is safe. So in my head, I'm thinking, like, A, because they're gonna bail themselves out. The government's gonna bail themselves out, and B, because most people are already don't care to be that responsible for. They're like, look, I have my money, I just want a place to put it. So because both of those are true, unless the government extremely oversteps their bounds, it's almost like a decent option in my head for most people. Because I just don't see like another scenario played out for them. Because not everyone's going to want custody of their own money, because it is a lot of work, and people can accidentally get hacked and lose 100% of their money on one accident kind of thing if they're dumb and they keep all their money in one spot. So for me, it's kind of like an impossible question, because there's just no situation where a majority of people are going to want custody of their own money, and I don't even know if that would be good either. So it's kind of, it feels like almost like a self-evolving question that never ends, because of kind of like I don't even know, like the imperfectness of man, how we just can't help but kind of screw it up for ourselves. But there might not be an answer, to be honest. I just want to know your opinion on all that stuff, because you're right, like it is a form of imprisonment, but at the same time, it's almost like what's required to make civilization run at the same time. It's kind of like both, like they go hand in hand almost. So I don't know, it's a very interesting conversation for me. But
no, yeah, I mean, yeah, for most people, like you're mentioning it, for most people is a good option, giving custody of their money, making more money. Why not? But in the end of the day, it's like, first of all, when the more they print, the less power a coin has. So it's like you make more money, but the more amount of money now has the same buying power of the money you had before. So it's like they give more money to the people, but in the end of the day, they can do the same thing they could before, just because of inflation. But if you had custody, it's like, the way that I'm thinking, it's like you have a house and you give your house to the government. So the house now it's the government's, and the government pays you a specific amount. But you don't have a house now. So it's the same concept the way that I'm thinking it. Yes, it's a good option for the short term, but for the long term, then you don't have the house.
Yeah.
True.
True.
All right, bro. We're trying to keep it at about an hour, so we're gonna just ask you a couple more questions and then close it out, bro. Sound good?
Yeah, bro.
I'm curious, what does KYRIAKOS mean? Because it's a cool name. And I'm curious, does that have a meaning? Is there any meaning behind it? Yeah, let me know where your name came from and what it means.
I mean, in Cyprus and Greece, I think it's also in US. Like, there's this culture we give the names based on saints. So my name is based on Saint Kyriakos. Kyriakos, actually, the name of the saint is a different pronunciation, I think you call it. So that's from where my name comes from.
What was that saint known for? Do you know?
No.
He's like, I swear. I think it was about being rich. He probably made a bunch of money.
He was a billionaire.
Yeah, billionaire for sure.
I mean, he helped a lot of people for sure.
That's cool.
No, that's pretty funny. No, I mean, bro, my name. I think my name is based on some random. My dad, I think he explained to me it's either a story or a store. I don't remember. I'm just gonna roll with story. It's better than a store, but it's like something bizarre and random, and he like cut off part of the name. Like my name is such a random way he came up with it. But yeah.
You got any closing questions, bro?
I got some like rapid fire Q&A that I like to ask. Do you have any tattoos?
No, but I want to do one here in Thailand. Actually, we will in the next few months.
Where are you trying to get on your body?
Probably on my back.
True. Oh, like a big back one across your upper back, or what kind?
Well, I'm thinking either a really big one or like, in the maybe either here or here.
True.
Let me follow up on that. How much is it? It has to be super cheap. I'm just
price differences?
Yeah, I might just have to go to Thailand.
I don't know how much it is like I don't know how much it is in Greece or US to compare, but here is 2,000 to 10,000 baht, which in US, let me tell you, I think it's cheap. My girlfriend, she has a tattoo, and she says that they are cheap. Yeah, 2 to 10. You can even do it like for 1,000, which in US, let's get the average, which is 5,000. I mean, I don't know if it's cheap. It's on average is $140
for a whole tattoo, like a big tattoo.
No, I guess the 140 is gonna be like size of your palm.
Yeah, I guess in my I paid like probably $1,000 for like a quarter sleeve. I just have like this part of my arm tattoos, like $1,000, something like that. Probably gonna pay a few $1,000s for like a full sleeve or like a big back tattoo. So I guess it's not that much cheaper.
Yeah, it's a little cheaper.
Yeah, I guess so a bit.
It's cheaper a little bit.
True. Bro, do you have any favorite TV shows? Are there like in Thailand? Are you out there like watching Thailand shows specifically because you're out there, or do you have just like Netflix shows? Like, what's your favorite show or movie?
Thai shows are, I guess it's not in my culture. It's very different, so I'm not watching any Thai shows. I'm not the person like watching podcasts. I watch podcasts mostly while I'm working.
Sure.
Or listen to speeches. I'm more of a Marvel DC person. I love Marvel. I watched all the movies 2-3 times. And it's weird, because we are doing the podcast about giving value. But for me, it's my me time. For example, every week I have like 3-4 hours for me. I may work, I may do anything. Usually I just do Netflix and chill on my own.
Nice. No, I feel you. All right. We'll close on this question. I like this question. So you wake up, what's your daily routine look like?
So I wake up, I used to be very strict. Now I wake up around 6-7 a.m. But there are days that I may wake up 9-10 a.m. if I allow myself. And I don't really have like a morning routine. I used to have like a strict one, But usually now I wake up and I get on the PC with a coffee and may work on my business with the agency we have, or I may send some messages, or work a bit for 1-2 hours. Then I hit the gym, do a bit of sauna, take a shower. Usually then the market opens, so I'm in front of my computer for London Open.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice, bro. Like in our time zone, it's like you either wake up at 6 a.m. and immediately start trading, or you stay up all night and you trade. There's like no in between. It's awful, bro. It's awful.
In US, right?
Yeah, on the West Coast specifically, it's terrible. East Coast is fine. East Coast, you have some time. You can wake up, do some things like you are, hop into one of the sessions, New York or London. But here, bro, you either got to wake up before the crack of dawn or you got to stay up the entire night. Like, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, the time zone in Pacific is here. The time zone is also weird because you miss the New York session.
Yeah,
but, if you focus more on the London one, you have a good time.
True.
So yeah, the time here is nice in Thailand.
Right on, bro. Right on.
And then what else, bro? So yeah, you wake up, you do this, and then you after trading, what else you got going on?
Yeah, basically. So yeah, I finish the gym, do sauna. Usually I do 1 hour back testing. Then the New York London session opens. I'm in front of the computer for 2-3 hours, 4 hours until the New York kill zone. In the New York kill zone, that's where I usually have calls, meetings, and everything. And in the evening, I'm still watching the charts and doing sessions with our business. But I'm not so much trading because, it's the New York session. For me, it's around 7, 8, 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually close everything around 10, 11 p.m. We watch with my girlfriend a bit of a Netflix, and then we sleep.
What show are you guys watching right now?
It's funny. Now we watch the Once Upon a Time.
I've seen people. People talk about that. I haven't watched it, but I've heard a lot of people talk about that show. It's
like I wasn't watching it for a long time, but when we watched it, we were like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, bro. Shows are lit. Like, it's hard for me to start shows, but when I find a good one, I'm like, yes. Yeah. But
for sure.
Anyways, bro, this is a sick episode. Thanks for coming on and kind of sharing entrepreneur life, the trader life. It's not every day that you get to talk to people who are actually trading. It's a hard thing to do. Most people can't stick with it. I mean, I can't. I try to stick with it. I dabble in every now and then, but it's just not my favorite thing. But I always like to talk to people who are in the game.
Nice to meet you. Nice for having me, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you, bro. And that wraps it up.
Bro, you're supposed to be able to close it out. I'm just kidding. Guys, thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed wow, I suck. If you enjoyed the conversation and podcast, hit the like button for us. Subscribe to the channel. KYRIAKOS stuff is down below in the description if you want to find us on the YouTube stream. Otherwise, if you're on like Instagram or another platform, his stuff should be tagged like on a past story. So just hit that button. But yeah, till next time, continue on your Joyage. Continue to learn.